Hello students, today we will learn that what is regeneration in Rankine cycle, why regeneration is done and what is the scope of regeneration in Rankine cycle. The complete details of Rankine cycle, ideal Rankine cycle is given in my another video lecture which is available over in the same channel of YouTube in which you are watching this lecture. So first of all we will refresh about Rankine cycle, ideal Rankine cycle itself. See, ideal Rankine cycle consists of four basic components. Those are the boiler, the turbine, condenser and the pump. All are connected in series, okay, in a loop fashion, in a cyclic fashion. You can see over here in the diagram. So what is the job of boiler? The job of boiler is to prepare the steam. It takes liquid water from here. In the diagram we can see from point 4 it takes the liquid water in and ejects out superheated steam from point 1. So that superheated steam is sent to the turbine, over where that steam expands isentropically, means in the turbine the pressure falls continuously, and at point 2 the steam comes out with condenser pressure. So this exit steam goes to the condenser. In the condenser the heat is ejected and it becomes liquid water again, and that liquid water is taken by the pump and again fed to the boiler. This is how cycle completes. This is a physical diagram and this is the TS diagram. So in the boiler the water is entering at point 4, heat is added, Q1 heat is added and ultimately comes out from point 1. It expands in the turbine and this is the point 2 is the point of exit of steam. Now it condenses in the condenser between point 2 and 3. Now it is taken up by the pump which takes the liquid water from point 3 and by increasing pressure transfers the water inside the boiler. This is how the cycle completes. Okay, now a question is that we know that Rankine cycle is also a sort of heat engine, and in an heat engine the work done is equals to the net amount of heat which is added to the cycle minus the net amount of heat which is rejected by the cycle. Okay, so Q1 minus Q2 would be the total amount of work done developed by this cycle. Now in case we want to increase the work done of this Rankine cycle for a fixed Q1 value, means in case heat input is fixed, then to increase the work done, one way is to decrease the amount of Q2, because in case Q2 is decreased then Q1 minus Q2 difference will increase and it will lead to more amount of work done. Okay, so decreasing the amount of Q2 can lead to more amount of work done obtained by the cycle. Now question is how to decrease the amount of Q2. One way is that whatever amount of heat which is rejected in the condenser, recover the heat back and input it to the cycle itself. Okay, so by that way we can reduce the amount of heat output from the cycle, but there is a problem with that case. For example, suppose I say that steam is prepared in the boiler with pressure of 80 bar. So from at 80 bar pressure water is entering at point 4 and suppose it is coming out with a temperature of 300 degrees centigrade. Okay, so water is taken at 40 degrees centigrade and 80 bar pressure and it exits from the boiler with the same pressure 80 bar and 300 degrees centigrade, because we know that in the boiler the heat addition is always isobaric. Now it expands and ultimately the pressure drops at the turbine exit to 0.08 bar. Okay, now what would be the condensing temperature? See, for 0.08 bar the saturation temperature of steam is 40 degrees centigrade. So what would happen? That steam will lose its latent heat of vaporization, it will lose its heat, but the temperature of heat lost is 40 degrees centigrade. So heat is being lost from the cycle at 40 degrees centigrade. Now problem is that in the condenser the temperature of steam is lowest as compared to that of other part of the cycle. So in case we want to revert this heat back to the cycle, it is impossible. Why? Because heat always flows from high temperature to low temperature. How can heat flow from 40 degrees centigrade to higher temperature? Spontaneously heat cannot flow. So to recover the heat back from lower temperature to higher temperature is not possible. So decreasing the amount of Q2 by this way, directly recovering it back, is not possible. Okay, now let's do some modification. Over here what we are able to see, that suppose in the turbine steam is entering with 80 bar and 300 degree centigrade. Okay, now pressure will fall in the turbine, and we know that the pressure fall is continuous, means gradually from 80, 60, 40, 20 like this the pressure will fall inside. Okay, now condense the steam twice. Condense some steam at higher temperature and rest of the steam at the lowest condenser temperature. Okay, we can see that when the pressure is becoming, see, from 80 bar the pressure is falling, so inside the turbine when the pressure is becoming 30 bar, some amount of steam is coming out and condensing. So at 30 bar pressure, from point 2, this is the point 2 from where the steam is coming out and it is condensed. And also suppose that at point 1 the amount of steam entering inside per second is 1 kg per second. Okay, and from point 2 at 30 bar pressure, m kg per second of steam is taken out for condensation. Now rest expansion would be of what, how much amount, with 1 minus m kg per second, because m is taken out from point 2. Okay, now when it reaches point 3, now condensation would be of how much amount, since at point 3 1 minus m kg per second of steam is reaching, so in the condenser steam condensing rate would be of 1 minus m kg per second. Now at point 3 the amount of steam reaching is 1 minus m kg per second. So in the condenser, in this condenser, the second one, the first one is this and second one is this. In the condenser the amount of heat rejected would be associated with 1 minus m kg per second of steam. So ultimately at point 4 this steam is becoming water and it is taken by the pump and it is exiting, this liquid water is exiting from the pump at point 5. Now the steam which is condensing at 30 bar pressure, for 30 bar pressure the saturation temperature is 233 degrees centigrade, and over here at point 5 the water is approximately at 40 degrees centigrade, because however the 40 degrees centigrade is associated with this condensing steam, but since pump doesn't adds any heat, so at point 5 also the temperature is almost same, that is 40 degrees centigrade. Okay, so at point 5 liquid water is available at 40 degrees centigrade, and over here steam is rejecting heat at 230 degrees centigrade. Now do one thing, whatever amount of heat which is rejected by this steam, it is called a steam blade. Taking out steam from an intervening point of turbine, this is called a steam blade. So whatever amount of heat it is rejecting, let it to absorb it by this liquid water. So this is the complete cycle. What is happening? See, steam is entering at point 1 with 1 kg per second of mass flow rate. At point 2 m kg per second of steam is taken out from the turbine for condensation process. Now further expansion would be of 1 minus m kg per second. Ultimately to the condenser inlet it would reach 1 minus m kg per second of steam. So condensation will be with 1 minus m kg per second of steam. Now it is taken by the pump at point 4 and sent to point 5. Now what is happening? This condensing steam is giving its heat to this liquid water at point 5. So the temperature of this liquid water is increasing to 0.6. Since the highest temperature is 230 degrees centigrade, so it can raise the temperature of water from 0.5 to 0.6 by this way. Okay, so what is the benefit of this thing? Simple. Now what will happen, that see, at 0.6 what is happening, m kg of steam is coming from point 2 and reaching to 0.6, and from here from 0.5 what is happening, 1 minus m kg of steam is coming and meeting over here. Now at 0.6 total steam would be of how much mass flow rate? It would be m plus 1 minus m kg per second, that is equals to 1 kg per second again. So one more pump is used, it is taking the water from 0.6 and sending it to boiler, and it is this 1 kg per second of water is entering inside the boiler at 0.7. So the benefit is clear, that now heat is added in the boiler between 0.7 and 0.1. Is it there or not? In case this technique is not used, then heat addition would have been taken from 0.5 to 0.1, but now heat addition is taking place only between 0.7 to 0.1. So this is how the load of boiler is decreased. Is it there or not? Secondly, that in case this process is not used, then condensation of steam would have been taken with 1 kg per second, but now how much steam is condensing? That is 1 minus mkg per second. Steam is condensing in the condenser. So amount of steam flow rate in the condenser is reduced, so automatically Q2 is reduced. Okay, so this is what regeneration process is. Have you got it? That actually what is happening, that see, total condensation is taking place still with 1 kg per second, because mkg per second is condensing between 0.2 and 6, and 1 minus mkg per second is condensing between 0.3 and 4. So m plus 1 minus m is what? 1 kg per second. But by this protocol, by this technique, we can reduce the amount of heat rejection, unnecessary heat rejection, and we can feed it to the cycle itself, so that boiler load can be reduced. So this is what your ideal regeneration Rankine cycle with one steam blade. This is the physical diagram. So we can see over here that at point 1 steam is, and see these pressures and temperature, that is 80 bar and 300 degrees centigrade, is just an example. It is just to make you understand. The pressure can be of any value and temperature at the turbine inlet can be of any value. Okay, suppose steam is entering with 80 bar 300 degrees centigrade with mass flow rate 1 kg per second at point 1. Okay, now while expansion, when the pressure is becoming 30 bar, some steam is taken out, that is mkg per second of steam is taken out at that point. This is called as steam blade, 30 bar pressure. Now further expansion would be of 1 minus mkg per second. So ultimately from point 3, 1 minus mkg per second of steam is coming out, and it is condensing in the condenser, which is at 0.08 bar. Now what is happening? This 30 bar steam which is taken out from point 2, it is condensing in an entity. That entity is called as feed water heater. Means this condensation between 2 and 6, where it is happening, it is feed water heater. Okay, so now 30 bar steam is condensing in feed water heater. From here, over the condenser exit, liquid water is available by the pump 1, which is working between 4 and 5, between 0.4 and between 0.4 and 5. So this 1 minus mkg per second of liquid water is also fed to feed water heater. So what is happening? Actually this steam is condensing in the feed water heater, and this liquid water is also going inside the feed water heater. So this condensing steam inside the feed water heater will give its entire heat to this liquid water, so that the liquid water which is having its condition at 0.5, its temperature rises to 0.6. So ultimately 1 minus m plus m in the feed water heater, total amount of steam is 1 kg per second. This is taken by the another pump, pump 2, which is working between 6 and 7, 0.6 and 7. So it is taking 1 kg per second of steam, and from 0.7 the water is entering inside the boiler. From 0.7 water is entering inside the boiler. So by this way the cycle completes. So once again, that what is the beauty of regeneration, that the condensation of steam is taken in fragment, is done in fragments, and by the help of regeneration the amount of heat rejection to the atmosphere is reduced, and by this protocol, regeneration protocol, the amount of heat which is recovered is input to the cycle itself. So by this way the boiler load is decreased. So this is how the efficiency of Rankine cycle increases by regeneration. Now question is that how much amount of m to be taken out? There must be some relation, that in case 1 kg per second of steam is entering inside the boiler, then how much m must be there which is to be taken out from the corresponding steam blade point. Over here I am showing 30 bar. Once again I am telling that any pressure we can choose. However, there is an optimum pressure also from where steam to be bled out. For that I am not discussing right now. But remember that steam blade can be taken out from any pressure, 30 bar, 40 bar, 20 bar, according to requirement and according to the best suitable steam blade pressure which is there with the cycle. Okay, so once again, that how to find out that from the corresponding point how much amount of steam to be bled out. It can be done, this can be found by energy balance equation, which I am showing by the arrow over here. You can see from point 2 to 6, how much amount of heat will be liberated by this m kg per second of steam? Simple, H2 minus H6 into m. Okay, so now this m into H2 minus H6 is what liberated by this steam blade condensation in the feed water heater. Now this is what consumed by the liquid water between 0.5 and 6, and the amount of liquid water between 0.5 and 6 is with mass flow rate of 1 minus m kg per second. So 1 minus m into H6 minus H5 is what the energy consumed between point 0.6 and 5, and amount of energy liberated by condensation of steam blade between point 2 and 6 is H2 minus H6 into M. So these will be equal. This is the energy balance. Energy liberated is what energy absorbed. Energy liberated by steam blade is what energy absorbed by the liquid water. This is how. Now over here the points H2, H6 and H6, H5 can be found by analysis and by steam tables, which I have how to find those is mentioned in my Rankine cycle lecture. So only unknown variable is M, which can be found by this equation. Now in case we talk about the efficiency, then efficiency would be, we know that total turbine work minus total pump work is the net work available in a Rankine cycle, and heat input is Q1. So on the behalf of Q1, on the behalf of total heat input, what is the net work done is what the efficiency is. So turbine work would be between 1 and 2, 1 kg per second of steam is expanding. So between 1 and 2 the work done would be H1 minus H2 into 1. Okay, between 2 and 3, 1 minus m kg per second of steam is expanding, so H2 minus H3 into 1 minus m. So this is what our total turbine work. Now what is the total pump work? The pump between 5 and 4, acting between 5 and 4, is handling 1 minus m kg per second of liquid water. So 1 minus m into H5 minus H4. Now similarly between point 7 and 6, one more pump is acting. So at point 6 the total amount of liquid water is 1 kg, because m plus 1 minus m is 1 kg per second. So H7 minus H6 into 1 is what the pump work between 7 and 6. So this is the net work done over the numerator. Over the denominator the net heat input would be H1 minus H7 into 1, because heat input is between 7 to 1, and that is with 1 kg per second of steam flow rate. So this is what our efficiency expression for this particular Rankine cycle. Now till now I was discussing about the regeneration in which only one steam blade was used. You can see only one steam blade is used from corresponding pressure. Now steam blade points can be even higher. Multiple steam blade points can be used. For example, in this case we can see, suppose steam starts expanding in the turbine from point 1, and it is expanding, and from point 2 m1 amount of steam, m1 kg per second amount of steam is taken out as a steam blade for condensing in the feed water heater. Okay, now further expansion would be with 1 minus m1 kg per second in the turbine. Now from point 3 m2 amount of steam is taken out for condensing in the feed water heater. So again m2 is taken out, so between 3 and 4 the further expansion would be of 1 minus m1 minus m2 kg per second. Now in the condenser the amount of steam reaching is again 1 minus m1 minus 2, which is equal to the amount of steam coming out exactly from the the exit end of turbine. So this much steam would condense in the condenser. At point 5 there is a pump which is taking the liquid water and forcing it to go inside the feed water heater, which is starting from point 6. Over here we can see that this is the turbine. So 1 kg of steam starts expanding inside. From point 2 m1 amount of steam is taken out for condensing in the feed water heater H1. From point 3 m2 amount of steam is taken out for condensing in the feed water heater H2. Now ultimately from the turbine exit the amount of steam is coming out with 1 minus m1 minus m2 kg per second. It is condensing in the condenser. One pump is taking this liquid from point 5 and forcing it to go inside the heater 2. So what would happen? 1 minus m1 minus m2 kg per second of water is going inside the heater H2, feed water heater H2. From here m2 is coming and condensing inside. So what will happen? Here we can see the TS diagram, that between 3 and 7 whatever amount of heat is rejected in feed water heater by condensation of m2, it is taken up by the liquid water from point 6, which is also going inside the feed water heater, and it is heating to point 7. So the liquid water is heated to point 6 to 7 by this condensing steam m2 inside the feed water heater. Once again, what is the total amount of water inside this feed water heater H2? m2 plus 1 minus m1 minus m2. Total amount would be now 1 minus m1. So it is taken by another pump from point 7, and this pump forces the liquid water to go inside heater H1. So 1 minus m1 amount of liquid goes inside heater H1. From point 2, m1 steam is coming and mixing inside the feed water heater. So this m1 would condense. You can see over here in the TS diagram, from 2 to 9 m1 is condensing, and whatever amount of heat is dispensed by this m1 is taken by the liquid water with amount 1 minus m1 kg per second from point 8, and it is heating to point 9 by this rejected heat of condensing m1 itself. Now at point 9, how much amount of liquid water available would be? It would be m1 plus 1 minus m1, that would be 1 kg. So now this 1 kg is taken by this third pump from point 9, and it forces this liquid water to go inside the boiler from point 10. So inside the boiler, 1 kg per second of water is going inside and ultimately coming out from point 1 in superheated form. This is how the cycle completes. Now what is the benefit? In case only one steam blade would have been used for regeneration purpose, then the boiler load would have between 8 to 1. But in case two steam blades are used, now the boiler load is between 10 to 1, since point 10 is at higher temperature in TS diagram compared to 8. So taking the water from point 10 to 1 will need less amount of heat energy input as compared to that of heat energy input between point 8 to 1. So this is how the boiler load decreases to even more levels and efficiency increases to even more levels. So not only 2, it could be 3. There could be 3 steam blades in a Rankine cycle for regeneration, and maximum 9 regeneration points are used, because beyond 9 blade points, what happens, that the number of pump increases to that much level that whatever amount of efficiency increase is there is consumed by the pump itself. Means the energy input to the pump comes in the scene, and the whatever amount of efficiency increases is decreased by the energy consumed by the pump themselves. Now how to find out the values of m1 and m2 which are to be taken out from these corresponding points? See, m1 steam is taken out from point 2 and it is condensing in heater 1. So net amount of enthalpy dispensed by m1 steam is h2 minus h9 into m1. So this is what the amount of heat dispensed by condensing steam of amount m1 kg per second in heater 1. Okay. Now whatever heat which is dispensed by this m1 is taken by liquid water of amount 1 minus m1 kg per second, and this liquid water is heated between point 8 to 9. So this heating is done by this condensing steam m1. So our energy balance would be h2 minus h9 into m1 into 1 minus m1 into h9 minus h8. This is our equation 1. Now again m2 amount of steam is coming and it is condensing in heater h2, feed water heater h2. So the enthalpy dispensed by m2 amount of steam would be h3 minus h7 into m2. This is what taken up by the liquid water of amount 1 minus m1 minus n2, and the liquid water temperature raises from 0.6 to 7. So the second energy balance equation would be h3 minus h7 into m2 equals to 1 minus m1 minus m2 into h7 minus h6, because enthalpy increase of 1 minus m1 minus m2 amount of steam is between 7 and 6. So this is our equation 2. These enthalpy magnitudes, those are h9, h8, h2, h3 and h7 etc., can be found by analysis and steam tables, which is there in my Rankine cycle lecture, how to find those. The only unknowns are m1 and m2. So since equations are 2, so we can find out the value of m1 and m2. Now talking about efficiency, what is the total turbine work? Between point 1 and 2, total expansion is h1 minus h2 with 1 kg of steam, 1 kg per second of steam. Between point 2 and 3, the total expansion is of 1 minus m1 kg per second of steam. So h2 minus h3 into 1 minus m1 is the work done between point 2 and 3 of turbine. And between 3 and 4, the expansion is of 1 minus m1 minus m2 kg of steam, 1 minus m1 minus m2 kg per second of steam. So therefore 1 minus m1 minus m2 into h3 minus h4 is the work done between 3 and 4. So this is what our total turbine work. Now what is the total pump work? See, 1 minus m1 minus m2 liquid water is handled between 0.6 and 5 by the help of pump. So 1 minus m1 minus n2 into h6 minus h5. This is the pump work between 6 and 5, and between point 8 and 7 total steam handled is 1 minus m1 kg per second. So m1 minus m1 into h8 minus h7. Okay, now this third pump is taking 1 kg of water, so h10 minus h9 into 1. This is the pump work between 10 and 9. So total pump work would be this, as written over here: 1 minus m1 minus m2 into h6 minus h5 plus 1 minus m1 h8 minus h7 plus 1 into h10 minus h9. Now total heat input is between point 1 and 10. So Q is equals to 1 kg, since in the boiler the total amount of water going inside is 1 kg per second is steam flow rate. So 1 into h1 minus h10 is what the heat input, and total efficiency would be this WT, turbine work minus pump work, upon the heat input. So hope you would have understood the concept of regeneration. So in totality, the regeneration is actually a different type of condensation of steam in Rankine cycle. By the protocol I have narrated in this lecture, in case steam is condensed, then amount of heat rejection reduces, as well as boiler load also reduces. So this is how regeneration improves the efficiency of the cycle. Thank you.